Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Candace and I am a brand new eBay reseller. I started my business towards the end of July and I just finished my second month reselling on eBay. If you haven't seen my first video recapping my first month selling on eBay, make sure to check it out here. You can also hit the subscribe button and that way you can be alerted anytime I share the business happenings of my eBay reselling adventure. In this video, particularly, I am going to be sharing with you all of the items that I sold in my second month, when I listed that item, and when that item sold, and how much it sold for. So that way you can kind of get a good scope at how long things sat on the quote-unquote store shelf. And just kind of like what the market's doing and how much things are selling for. I won't be sharing what the actual profit breakdown was of that, like what I paid and how much I actually ended up making, fees, etc. I will be sharing it though next week in a different video that kind of gives like the true profit breakdown. So look forward to that. But let's go ahead and get into it. I'm shocked, honestly. So I took a vacation in this second month. So, eBay reselling has its perks, right? You can take vacation whenever you like. You are your own boss. It's awesome. You get out of this business as much as you're gonna put into it, right? And so I thought to myself, okay, I'm gonna be taking a week family vacation and my business is gonna hurt in a big way. I still ended up selling 25 items this month. To be super honest, my store inventory is at like close to almost 200 listings right now. So I kind of was thinking that I would have sold a little bit more, but it definitely was an improvement from month one. And it didn't come without its challenges. So I took a week off. It was like the second week into the second month of me selling. And the whole time I was gone, I didn't list at all. And many of you are probably yelling at me on your screen right now that I should have, I know, set up a whole bunch of drafts of listings and then slowly release them one day at a time. Because I know this, I felt that the algorithm favors you when you're listing consistently, like every day, even if it's just like a couple times or a listing a day, like eBay favors you more as like an active seller, essentially, which makes sense, right? They want you to be an active seller on their platform, and so therefore you get rewarded for doing so. So I thought to myself, oh no, I'm going to be totally put in the back of the line. And I will say, so while I was on vacation, I did make sales. Like I made a handful of sales while on the mountains. It was awesome. And it was crazy because I had put on my account that I was away from my store right now. So you can do that. It's a setting. So like if you have your whole eBay store filled with listings, but you want to travel, you can put like a time away notification. So when people go in to purchase your items that are in your store, it will say at the top, like disclaimer, like this seller is currently away and will return on whatever date you set it for. So my date was like August 30th or 31st or something like that. And so I was shocked to see that people, even though I was going to be gone and not return and not ship their stuff to them until the following week, basically, still bought stuff. So hopefully that's encouraging to you if you're thinking to yourself, well, I got to travel and all this stuff. It didn't affect me while I was gone. What did affect me was the fact that I didn't list anything for 7 or 8 days in a row. So I did feel the pull in the algorithm when I say the pull, like I feel like there was a pull away from like eyes on my store. I am obsessed, I guess you could say, at checking my store. Maybe it's just because I'm new. Checking my store to see like what items have like views on it and saves on certain items. Like what's the activity like? Like what are people seeing my stuff? And I did get like a drop a few days after I came back from vacation. I felt it. And I didn't make a sale. And then I had another snafu, I guess you could say, in the algorithm, where I went in to update like my payment information on my account. So I in how I get paid. I made some modifications there. Well, I don't know if it was a combination of me updating my bank account information, and when I got back from vacation, so this all happened like that week. When I got back from vacation, I was like maniacal about listing. I was like, I got to get back in good graces with eBay. I got to list. And I wasn't listing like crazy. I wasn't doing like 20 listings a day or anything like that. But I was like, I was doing my 5 listings a day, and I was on top of it. I went from like nothing to, 5 a day kind of cadence. And then I did a bank account information update. Well, I went into like the weekend and I was like, I'm getting no views on anything in my store. What is going on? I was like, Sundays are like my day that I make sales. Not even a glimmer of eyes on any of my like really awesome items I felt like that I had just listed. Come to find out, Monday morning, I see like a notification from eBay saying, we need to confirm your identity. And I had to send a picture of my ID, the front and the back. And then I did that. As soon as I saw that, I was like, and then it said like, something along the lines that like, we apologize for any delays in your account or something like that. And I figured that maybe they thought there was just fraudulent activity because the combination of like bank account update / tons of listings that potentially they thought there was maybe an identity theft situation there. So, which I'm grateful for the eBay strongholds on that. So thank you to eBay on that. Bummer, because I feel like I missed out on a weekend's worth of potential sales because basically my store was on lock for like 3 days. 3 of the most important days. I felt like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I felt like I got nothing, which was a bummer. But with all that being said, my vacation I took, the dip that happened, and the account freeze out for 3 days, I still had 25 items sold, which to me, I feel like is a win. And I'm going to share all the items with you, and they might not be exciting. Some are very exciting. One with a very interesting, crazy story at an item that I didn't realize how popular it was. So overall, I'm very happy. I'm very pleased with month 2. So enough with the update on how the month went. Let's go ahead and get you all the items that I sold. Okay, item number 1 is this lot of vintage Bibles, and it was listed on July 27th and sold on August 23rd. So it took almost a month to sell, and quite honestly, this is an item that surprised me that even sold in the first place. It was one of the very first items that I ever went like sourcing for back when I really just didn't know how to source, and one of the Bibles in this lot was in really poor condition. But either way, the other 2 were in really good condition. So maybe the buyer was kind of more interested in those, but ended up selling. So happy on that. And it sold for $15.48. Item number 2 is this vintage Eureka Reed & Barton jewelry chest. I listed it on August 2nd and it sold on August 24th. So roughly 3.5 weeks. It was priced competitively, but it did have some scuffs on it. Someone offered me $95. I had it listed for $110. It ended up selling for $105. This one was interesting in, I messed up on the shipping on this one, and you'll have to check it out in this video here where I talk about my shipping snafu. But anyways, I still made a profit, very happy on it. It moved quickly, and they were super happy too. I got a great review out of it. So even though I lost out on shipping, I got a great review from this sale. So happy on that one. The next item is this Masters hat. It was listed on July 26th and sold on August 24th. So only took a month to sell, and I was really happy that it sold because it had a lot of makeup staining on the inside, so it was priced competitively. I ended up selling it for only $15, but still made a profit and was sold in a month's time. This next item is the Adidas BMW Championship Golf Polo Short Sleeve Navy Blue men's. It's a 2XL, and I think that's lended well to it selling so quickly. I listed it on August 23rd and it sold on August 29th. So in under a week's time it sold, and I did see it had good traction right away and it was in excellent condition. It sold for $19.95. So I think the BMW insignia on the front there was kind of like a limited edition or hard to find item, and so that helped with it, and was really pleased it sold quickly. Next item is this New York Yankees hat by 59.50. It was new with tags, and I listed it on August 7th and it sold August 30th. So only took a few weeks to sell. I know Yankee stuff is hot. I sold it for only $17. I had it listed for $19.95, which was what the other comps were. And someone had offered me $17, and I wanted to make the sale. So I gave them a good deal and I made a quick sale. Okay, I should call this month the series of surprising sales because I sold a lot of items this month that were either like in, I guess, fair condition or like even beyond fair, like broken. And that's this next item here. It is a Coach strap keychain, and the carabiner was completely broken at the end there. But that didn't stop it from selling, which I'm really pleased with. I did figure that it possibly would sell only because I couldn't find this other style on eBay, like in any other listing. All the other ones kind of had more of a feminine look to them. So I thought, hey, you know what? I'll just go ahead and list it. We'll see what happens. I listed it on August 13th and I sold it on August 31st. I listed it for $9.99. That seemed appropriate for the condition that was in, and someone offered me $7 and I took it. Okay, this next one comes with a story, and and after I tell you this story, you're going to be on the lookout for this item whenever you're out thrifting. So I featured this item in a previous video that I did at my Goodwill bins haul. So when I'm at the Goodwill bins, I feel like that's the place to take a risk, especially when something is light in weight. And this item, to me, felt like it was light enough in weight because I couldn't find any kind of comps online for it when I was at the Goodwill bins, and I just couldn't understand or know what it was potentially worth. So here is the item, me featuring it in that other video. It is this Prime hydration drink hockey jersey. So smash cut to me coming home after I had done that video, and I really wanted to just like dig in and understand and know what to list it for. I couldn't find another comp for it. I couldn't find a sold, I couldn't find a listed. And when I went to kind of Google it, I just couldn't really find much. And I found like an Instagram post from a while back, and then I worked with ChatGPT a little bit to figure out that it was kind of a limited run jersey that was like a promotional thing given out. I don't know if it was for purchase or given out, whatever it was, a year ago. So I was like, okay, this isn't like really even like relevant or new occurrence that had happened. And it's not really like vintage or old in that sense either. It's just kind of, it was a year ago. I'm not discrediting that. What I am doing is I'm learning. I'm trying to walk you through how I was thinking versus now how I'm thinking about things in the future. So I go in and I'm like, well, okay, let me just try and market this the best that I can. I took the best picture I could. I'm going to show you the listing here. And you'll see, like, I'm like, okay, I kind of like spread it out so you can see the cool drip design on the logo. And then I crafted this title, Logan Paul collab Jersey Bird Prime hydration drink hockey jersey. And I put limited run because it was a limited run. In a wild attempt to just think to myself, jersey, jerseys are expensive, right? Anytime I've ever go to buy a baseball jersey or a football jersey, whatever it is, like they're always like in the at least north of $50 range. So I thought to myself, I'm going to shoot for the stars on this one. You all are telling me to do that all the time. So here I go. I'm going to shoot for the stars. So I'm like, let me just price it at $59.95 just to shoot my shot and see if I can get $60 out of this jersey for what I feel is kind of a random off item that I don't think anyone's going to really care about. Okay. This is me telling you how I don't think it was a flub, but like definitely I should have learned or should have known, and I have definitely learned from what occurred as soon as I listed it. So I list it, and all of a sudden, like I kid you not, within 20 minutes, 30 minutes of me listing it, it gets like 6 saves and 15 to 20 views. And I thought to myself, oh, wow, like, I'm doing really good in the algorithm. Like people are seeing my stuff. It was a Sunday afternoon. I've read that Sundays are like a really good shopping day. And so I'm like, okay, like this is great. Like it's going to sell and it's going to hopefully sell quick. So I'm just like over here, not really thinking much of it. So it sells. Yeah. Like within 30 minutes. Okay. Someone put that sucker in their cart and they hit pay and got it. Okay. I kid you not. Within 10 minutes of that thing selling, and I'm sitting here on the couch Sunday afternoon with my kids, within 10 minutes, I'm looking at my phone and my phone starts going off of messages from people who are bummed that they missed out on purchasing it. And one guy messages me and he's like, hey, do you have any others? Or do you have any other Prime Hydration jerseys of different, runs and stuff like that? And I was kind of like, oh, wow, this is, I felt like the first message, I was like, oh, bummer, like one off, didn't really think much of it. Then the second guy comes in and asks this very similar question, looking for more jerseys, wondering if I have any more in stock that's not listed, whatever. And then another guy messages me and he's like, hey, do you have any more? And I, of course I'm telling all these people, no, unfortunately, if anything comes in stock in the future, I will let you know. I'm happy to do so. But this third guy like messages me and he's like, hey, he tries to convince me or offers me more money and tries to convince me to cancel on the other buyer and that he'll pay $20 more for it. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, what is happening? I'm just like sitting here on the couch looking at my phone, blowing up over this jersey. Okay. And a part of me is just like, oh my gosh, Candace, like as this is all unfolding, I'm like, this was clearly a very rare, hard to find, hot commodity item. And I go back and forth with this guy. I'm going to show you a little bit of the dialogue. This person was so desperate for me to cancel the other order. And in hindsight, I should have just blocked this user, but I didn't know how to do that. And I just kept ignoring it. But I just simply said, I'm so sorry. Buyer has already paid and I'm going to honor that, which you always should. Don't ever cancel if somebody does something dumb like this, like offers you $20 on the side. Well, he ends up coming like by the next morning. Finally, he's like, fine, I'll give you $100. And I had been ignoring the requests because they're like begging me, please, 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 and they're trying to tell me how to cancel it and all this stuff, all the drama. So I was so shocked. And then one of the other guys follows up and is like, hey, if you don't mind me asking, like, how did you get a hold of this jersey? I'm telling y'all of you this because this is a learning moment for us all. If you list an item and it's A, something that you can't find a comp on, B, you get like a ton of traction on it immediately, maybe, just maybe, and I don't know if this is going to be a bad approach, so if you're an experienced seller, please tell me if I'm wrong on this. Maybe if you see something like that, just maybe delist it and then put it up for auction. That's what I should have done. I should have put it up for auction, but I have not done the auction thing yet. Or just in general, before you even list it, in general, maybe just try and put it up for auction if you think it is a rare item or you can't find a comp on it. I don't know. But that was wild. And I know, and I talked to my dad about this too. I was like, I'm going to be looking for Prime Hydration Energy jerseys at the bins now. And he's like, you will never find another one like it. And he's right. It was a unicorn of a situation. Nevertheless, it was a great learning moment for me. And for you too, if you're watching. One on just like knowing when you have a rare, hot commodity, popular item, and just like kind of seeing the early signs of that, and then maybe being proactive and like potentially getting more money. Do I regret? Do I regrets? This is what, I'm sure people are wondering. Do I have regrets on potentially, I probably could have gotten a couple $100 for this jersey. I kid you not, because the way these people were behaving and the way I looked up other ones that I had seen of different runs online, I could have at least gotten a couple $100 out of this. No. What I do regret is this Bud Light VHS, that I picked up at one of my very first sourcing trips. But you know what? I keep not Bud Light, Airbud, excuse me. I keep that Airbud VHS listing on my store, which I should probably bring it down because it's not worthy of being sold, as a reminder to not source junk. So I will keep this Prime Energy hydration drink, as a reminder and as a learning point to myself to, just maybe approach things differently in the future. The guy who got it got a great deal, apparently, one of a kind piece. And you know what? They deserved to get a great deal on it because I had no idea what I had, apparently. And so all in all, I turned a $1 item into $60, which is insane in the first place. And I am very grateful for that. But that is my Prime limited run hydration hockey jersey collab story for you. And be on the lookout for them in the wild. Okay, let's continue. Let me tell you about the rest of my sales. Okay, next item is this authentic Chevy Corvette racing hat. And I listed it on August 11th and it sold September 1st. Someone offered me $13 when I had it listed for $17 and I took it. Next item is this lot of 2 Philips Hue dimmer switches. And I listed it on September 1st and it sold the next day on September 2nd. I had listed them, I think, for $19.95. Someone offered me $17.50 and I took it. Next item is this frying pan, and it has this like tri-ply stainless steel. So it's a high quality pan, and I listed it on August 3rd and it sold September 4th. I did have it listed for like $45, and then this person gave me an offer lower than that. Anyways, we settled on $30 and I was very happy about that. To be honest, I was kind of nervous about like shipping it because it had that like long handle. And so I kind of just want to just get it out of the inventory area because it was kind of taking up a lot of space. So I was willing to go down $15 on that one, and I got it for a really great price. So happy on that sale. Next is this Breville electric kettle. I listed it on August 2nd and sold it on September 6th. And I listed it for $19.95 and sold it for that. It was on the lower end of others kind of in its category, but some of those other ones kind of looked and seemed a little nicer. This one was, fairly used. So really happy on that one. Okay, next item is the Apple computer mouse with cord. And I listed it on August 15th and I sold it on September 6th. I listed it for $10.99. That's exactly what I got for it. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little surprised. When I looked up comps when I initially purchased this, other ones were selling for around $7 and there were other ones listed for around that. And so I thought if I listed $10.99, maybe someone will offer me lower and I'll take it. This is what I'm guessing, and I'd love to hear what your experience is on this. Maybe, just maybe, I listed mine for $10.99, and in that 3-week span, the ones that were less expensive or cheaper than mine probably got sold. And then the only ones that were left were either mine of a similar price or higher, and maybe that's why mine finally sold. I don't know. I don't think mine was extra special in any way. It was used. And I honestly, I showed in all the pictures. There's little scuffs here and there, nothing crazy. It wasn't dirty by any means, but it wasn't perfect. So, I don't know, but I'm happy. I got full asking on that. So, $11. Okay, next item is this women's Rolling Stones crew neck sweatshirt. It was new with tags, and I should have put that in the listing, but this is one of the first listings I did actually. July 29th is when I listed it, and then it sold on September 6th. So it took a little over a month to sell, but really cool sweater. I got $17.50 full asking for it, and really happy with that one. Okay, this next item is something I've never sold before, and so I just didn't know how this was going to go. But I felt like when I found these thrifting, and they are new, they're just new, not in package. How do you say it? Oh, NWOT, so new without tags. They are 3XL Fruit of the Loom briefs, white, and I had found 7 when I was thrifting, and they were all kind of packaged the same, so I put it as a 7-pack. The reason why I bought them is I felt like, when I looked up if underwear that's out of the package still sells, and these were definitely new, had not been used before, and they do. And so I ended up buying them, and I was like, well, it's kind of a risk. But the reason that kind of turned me on to it, and you guys are the ones that told me this, is it was a very unique size. So 3XL, and I have another one listed that hasn't sold yet. That's 3XB. But when I went online to try and find like 3XL Fruit of the Looms, they seem to have been sold out like on other websites. So I was like, oh, okay, like maybe I have a hard to find size. And sure enough, I did. So I listed them on, let's see here, September 2nd, and sold them on September 6th, like right away. Full asking, $32.50 was actually kind of a little bit on the higher side of what I saw others listed for. So I was, maybe because I had a 7-pack, so that person felt like it was a great deal. And they did, they got a great deal. Retail in the package, they're way more expensive. So I was really happy on that one. Okay, these next 2 items are kind of a similar item. They both sold on the same day on September 10th. So this vintage Rolf's leather American flag coin purse keychain sold actually pretty quickly, and it was listed on September 5th and sold on September 10th. So only 5 days. And this one right here is an unbranded vintage coin purse that was listed actually a long time ago on July 29th and finally sold that same day on September 10th. Both very inexpensive items that I sold. This one was $6 and this one was $5.50. So, you know what? I don't hate on the small listings. Someone might say to themselves, what is worth your time to list and all this stuff? This is what I think, and I could be wrong. I think eBay doesn't just reward you for listing stuff in the algorithm. I think that they reward you for selling stuff too. This is just like my thoughts and theories. I don't have data to back this up. But what I'm thinking is they want to reward sellers who are actually selling, or they're listing and selling items that people want. So if I'm a seller that sells stuff, I'm guessing and I'm hoping that they're gonna kind of keep boosting my listings for more visibility. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't know. So I don't hate on the small little like everyday movers, which these 2 were, and I'm really happy with that. So we'll see. This item here is sealed masterpieces. It's a 9/11 commemorative puzzle, and basically it was sealed, new in the box, and I made sure when I sourced it a few weeks ago, I was like, I gotta hurry up and make sure I list this before 9/11 because I'm sure that someone will want to buy it with that, remembrance coming up. And sure enough, they did. So I listed it on September 5th and it sold September 10th. So very happy and excited for that. It sold for $10. That was kind of the going rate for this puzzle. There's a lot online. So anyways, a quick and easy $10. Okay, 8 more items left in what I sold my second month on eBay. So this is this item here, this vintage blanket I found when I was outsourcing at the bins, and I really just didn't know what it was. I took a risk on it. I used ChatGPT to help me identify what it was. 1940s blanket, it's heavy duty, and it's got this like almost like a Letterman's jacket kind of texture to it. couldn't find a comp anywhere. And yeah, sure, this could have been like a Prime Energy or Prime Hydration drink situation. I didn't think it was, and so I didn't like put it on auction. I just listed it, and I listed it for $39.95. After all my research, that felt appropriate. Long story short, I went back and forth with negotiation on this person about this blanket, ended up selling it for $30. This listing specifically, and I won't go on this whole long story about it, but this listing specifically taught me a lot about managing what promotions I have sent. Because when you have sent, or not promotions, what offers I have sent. So once you've sent an offer on an item, so like let's say this blanket, which was listed, and you go on your eBay thing and it's like, oh, send an offer. So I did, because I was like, oh, I want to kind of try and get this person excited who had saved it. There was like a couple saves on it about purchasing it. I'm like, oh, we're going into football season. Like, let's try and get this thing sold before football season starts. Someone's going to want it for that. So I sent an offer, and I think I was kind of eager for a sale, and dropped it all the way down to like $33 and some change. I did not know that when you hit send offer on something, it will not only include the people that you have sent the offer to already, but anyone else who jumps on the train of liking that item, or I'm guessing also viewing that item. The system for the 7-day duration that you're sending the offer will add those people into that offer. I didn't realize that. And I had like sent the offer out on like a Tuesday, and then like on a Friday, I get the information back from, or I get an offer sent into me by another random person that offers me like $28. Well, I come and meet them down at 35, and I say, it's kind of like my lowest that I'd like to go at this point. Forgetting I had already had an offer generated on this item. Long story short, I'm done talking to this person, kind of going back and forth. And then they must have hearted the item, because as soon as they hearted the item or saved it, they get generated this offer of $33 and some change. And they kind of were like, what's going on? Like, didn't you say 35 was your lowest? Like, why are you playing with me here? And I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, foolish me. I'm learning. And so I was like, well, now I just look unprofessional. And so going back and forth, I said, they're like, can you do 30 or what? Kind of at me. And I'm like, at this point, I'm so embarrassed that I just like didn't have it together. I just took $30 on it. Is it the biggest deal in the world going from 40 to 30? No, but yeah, like that's 25%, of a potential sale. Long story short, know what offers you have sent on an item before you really engage in negotiation. Look at the history of what's going on here, going into all of it. So, anyways, happy it's sold, shipped, it's already to them. And this is a learned experience. This next item here is a vintage 1980s Canon marble red camera nylon bag. It's a mouthful. Anyways, this whole line of stuff is super popular right now. So if you come across it, grab it, because even though this one didn't sell as quick as I was hoping it to, I listed it on August 21st and I sold it September 12th. I thought to myself, seeing how popular they were, it would go faster. Still not hating, because it still sold quick. A couple weeks is not bad. Mine was damaged, and so I listed it at $28.75, which was super competitive. These in really good condition are going for like $45. So it was a damaged piece. And like I said, this is like the series of like fair damaged items that I sold this month. So very interesting. Still sold it and happy. $28.75. Okay, next item is another item that kind of has some damage to it, but still sold. And so anyways, it's this vintage Corningware electric slow cooker, 6-quart, which is rare, the bigger ones, and they're sought after, but it had no knob and had a little scuffing on the front. Some people are selling these things for almost like $100. I didn't think that mine was worth $100, so I listed it at $45. It sold for $45. It took about a month to sell. It listed on August 13th and sold on September 12th. So this is encouragement that even if something isn't in perfect condition, it still will sell if it's a popular item. So happy on that one. Okay, I finally sold a mug. I feel like I've got a whole little corner of mugs sitting in my inventory shelf, and I'm like, I thought I was going to sell these mugs, and this is the first one I've sold so far. Hopefully this is the start of many. This is a St. Louis mug, and it's got the arch on it. It's a really cool mug. It's got this like ceramic emblem on the outside. I listed it for $12.79, and I sold it for $12.79. I sold it on September 15th, and I listed it on August 13th. So it took a month to sell. Again, I'm new, so this feels like a long time to me, but I know in the grand scheme of things, that's quick. And so I'm happy. I'm super happy with that. First mug down, many more to go. Next item is this nautical boat anchor. It's a drink koozie, and it's by Freaker USA. It's a really high quality koozie. I listed it high around 12-ish bucks. Someone offered me $6. We went back and forth, settled on $7.50. I am still happy though, because I paid next to nothing for it, and I listed it on August 18th, and it sold on September 15th. So that's a quick turnaround on something that's easy to ship. And I know $7.50, not a big moneymaker, but again, I'm trying to boost that algorithm. So happy on that one. Okay, this item here is a Drew Brees jersey, and it's an official Nike jersey. It's a child's youth size, 5T. So I think I'm going to continue to kind of look for children's stuff, because I actually know how to list it where it's easy to search, because this is how I search for clothes for my own kids. When you looked at the jersey, it said youth medium, and then in teeny tiny it said 5'6", and I'm like, oh, I know that means 5T. And this is how as parents look for stuff. 5T is what we're looking for. At least that's how I am most commonly seeing sizes at that age. It's got that T next to it. So I think that helped in the search engine for it. And what got eyes on it right away, it's football season. And so it sold same day. It was a used jersey, so I only priced it at, I think, $9.50. Someone offered me $7.50. And it was a nice, quick and easy sale. I took the $7.50. And so September 15th, listed and sold. Okay, next item is this flannel jacket hoodie zip up. We are starting to get into fall, so I'm really hopeful that the millions of jackets I feel like I have sourced will start to sell. Which this one and the last item are two sweaters or jackets. So this one here is by the brand Redhead. And that seemed to be a really popular brand, and it was priced appropriately, $19.95. This one sold quickly. It was only listed on, let's see here, September 4th, and I sold it on September 15th. So nice quick turnaround, and very happy with that one at $19.95. Okay, and my last sale, which I featured it in this video on Friday, which you got to check out the video. It was my haul from the Goodwill bins, my second haul. I picked up this one, and I kind of felt like it was a risk because it kind of had the logo on it. It is this Arborwear double thick high vis hoodie, and it had that King Bradley dozer safety on the front there. At first, I wasn't going to put that in the listing because I didn't think it was applicable. But then I thought to myself, what if somebody from the company is looking for a company replacement, or they're searching? This is where I'm learning too. A lot of people search stuff not on eBay, but on Google, and my listing could pop up on Google. So I did that. So in this case, putting the name of the company helped, and got it sold in under a day's time, listed and sold on September 15th. It was a used sweater. A super high quality sweater though. It's like a double thick sweater. So I think I priced it appropriately at $27.15. Because it had some like stains on it and stuff. Like it had been worn. I tried getting the stains out, by the way. If you're going to give me a bunch of advice on how to get stains out, I do have like a system. My system is this. I will attempt it once, okay, and I will give it a certain amount of effort. And if I cannot get something clean or a stain removed after a certain amount of effort, I just don't have the care or the capacity to try and rectify it any more than that. That's just me personally. And so it just will get listed as it is after I have attempted a reasonable amount of attempts. So on this sweater, I did really nice, like a heavy duty stain remover on it. I let it sit and then I washed it in the washer and dryer with some other stuff that I listed with the attempt to try and get that stain out. Stains did not come out. That is it. Didn't stop it from selling though. So, c'est la vie. Okay, and here is the grand total in sales for my second month selling on eBay. I am so excited and I'm very grateful for the sales that I made. I've learned a ton. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you can hear more updates as I am working and trying to make it in this biz. I share hauls, I share my learnings, and to come in the future, some how-tos on stuff that I feel will be helpful to other new resellers. I'm so grateful to have, chatted with a lot of you in the comment section. Continue to give me your feedback and understanding and experience and know-how and knowledge. And I'll be chatting with you soon. Catch you in the next one.